Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Geri P-Etito show on D.A.M.O.N looks. So this is going to be part two of food addiction. How addicted are we? So I hope you guys enjoyed the first part a couple weeks ago. What I'm going to do is I'm going to read a poem first, and then I'm going to talk about everything, okay? Let's start there. So, food addiction has a lot to do with everything, not just the actual food you're eating. Okay? Your brain cells. Is it organic? Is it processed? How many chemicals are in your food? The sugar, the amount of sugar. Okay, that's huge. Okay. So, all right, I'm gonna read this poem I wrote. So let's talk food, about what you eat. Are you a vegetarian or do you eat meat? What's all this hype about going green? What's all this noise? What does it all mean? Do you care about your planet? Do you care about your health? Do you care about others, maybe the way they felt? Or are you just so close to hearing another side? Staying in your comfort zone is a really safe place to hide. Because if you ever leave there and walk across the street, then you might lose your mind with the others you might meet. Open your eyes so you can see how life was meant to be. Open your eyes so you can see how life was meant to live. Stop just talking, taking all you want with nothing left to give. Eating meat these days is really, really bad. All the crap injected. It really makes me mad. And also the abuse these poor creatures endure, torturing our animals so humans can make more. Money's not the answer to happiness in life. Trust me, I should know. More riches bring on strife. Don't say animals do not feel and do not have a heart. Animals never torture you. That's what sets them apart. Your food source today is not even food. Organic and vegan will clean up your mood. But some of you don't seem to care how it's killing you. It's just not fair. Organic is the way to go. It's higher price. Yes, this I know. It doesn't make sense to many of you. The reason is simple: to keep us sick too. It's cheaper to eat all the poison they sell, to add to our food so we don't stay well. They don't want us healthy, they want us real sick. It's your choice to make, but you better be quick. They're polluting our water, they're polluting our soil. Our food source is toxic, it makes my blood boil. If we ate more healthy, the doctors would yell, because then they'd be broke with no BS to sell. I stay away as much as I can. I'd rather listen to my body than any other man. Organic farmers are becoming more scarce. GMOs are the future. Health's a thing of the past. So wake up, America. Please take a stand. Our food source is vital, and so is our land. GMOs and pesticides were never meant to be eaten by a human being far back as I can see. So don't be governed by power and greed. You have a right to know what goes into your food source now, organic or GMO. It's because of you that this won't end. If others don't care, this world will not mend. The healthy way to eat to keep from being sick, organic, vegetarian, it's the option you should pick. So I'm going to talk about that as well. All right. I want to show you guys something. So it's really something. I'm sure a lot of you have heard of God's pyramid, and this stuff is really cool because the photos are incredible, and there's got to be something to it. I don't care what anybody says, there has to be something to this. Okay. It's been said that God first separated the salt water from the fresh, made dry land, planted a garden, made animals and fish, all before making a human. He made and provided what we need before we were born. These are best and most powerful when eaten raw. And I'm going to show you some photos and how cool this is. Okay, God left us a great clue as to what foods help with what part of our body. God's pharmacy. Amazing. So here's a sliced carrot. It looks like the human eye. Think about that. Okay? And then, of course, the tomato. It has 4 chambers and it's red, like the heart. Okay? Grapes hang in clusters in the shape of the heart. Cool, right? Carrots. So when they're sliced, they look like the human eye. The pupil, iris, and radiating lines look just like the human eye. Yes, science now shows carrots greatly enhance blood flow to and function of the eyes. Okay? Tomato. Tomato has 4 chambers and is red. The heart has 4 chambers and is red. All of the research shows tomatoes are loaded with lycopene and are indeed pure heart and blood food. How about that? Grapes. Grapes hang in a cluster that has the shape of the heart. Each grape looks like a blood cell, and all of the research today shows grapes are also profound heart and blood vitalizing food. It's pretty cool, right? All right. All right, so this is great too. So, avocados. Okay, avocados, guys. Right? Avocados and eggplant and pears target the health and function of the womb and cervix of the female. They look just like these organs. Today's research shows that when a woman eats 1 avocado a week, it balances hormones, sheds unwanted birth weight, and prevents cervical cancers. How about that? How profound is this? It takes exactly 9 months to grow an avocado from blossom to ripen fruit. There are over 14,000 photolytic chemical constituents of nutrition in each one of these foods. Modern science has only studied and named about 141 of them. Imagine that. Okay. Figs. Figs are full of seeds and hang in twos when they grow. Get it yet? Figs increase the mobility of male sperm and increase the numbers of sperm as well to overcome male sterility. You see the figs? That's pretty cool, right? And that's how they grow in 2. That's kind of funny. All right. Sweet potatoes look like the pancreas and actually balance the glycemic index of diabetes. People think they need to stay away from them because of the sugar. Absolutely not. Okay. Let's do more. Okay. Walnuts. This is pretty cool. A walnut looks like a little brain. Look. Yes, it does. A little brain. Okay. A left and right hemisphere, upper cerebrums and lower cerebellums. Even the wrinkles or folds on the nuts are just like the neocortex. We now know walnuts have developed more than 3 dozen neuron transmitters for brain function. Imagine that. Okay. I just think this is so cool. All right. Kidney beans actually heal and help maintain kidney function. And yes, they look just like the human kidney. Yes, they do. And you know they do. Okay. Celery, bok choy, rhubarb, and many more look just like bones. These foods specifically target bone strength, guys. Bones are 23% sodium, and these foods are 23% sodium. Isn't that crazy? Come on. If you don't have enough sodium in your diet, the body pulls it from the bones, thus making them weak. These foods replenish the skeletal needs of the body. Is that cool or what? Come on. All right, you ready? Olives. They assist the health and function of ovaries. They look just like women's ovaries. Oranges, grapefruits, and other citrus fruits look just like the mammary glands of the female and actually assist the health of the breasts and the movement of lymph in and out of the breasts. Okay? Come on, you know they do. Last but certainly not least, let's talk about onions. Onions look exactly like the body cells. Today's research shows onions help clear waste materials from all the body cells. They even produce tears, which wash. Think about this, okay? When you cut onions, right? They produce tears. And this washes everything out of the layers of your eyes. Think about that. I'm excited because it's just so cool to me. A working companion, garlic, also helps eliminate waste materials and dangerous free radicals from the body. Okay? My nonna lived to 100 years old, and all her kids are alive except for my dad, who did die at 84. And they're up there, 80s and 90s. Maybe because they ate so many onions and garlic. All right, anyway, guys, I'm being serious now. So I showed you all that, okay? There has to be proof to it. Come on, that's a coincidence, okay? I want to read something about GMOs, all right? What are GMOs? Are GMOs safe? Why do farmers grow them? All right. When people refer to genetically modified organisms, GMOs, they're referring to crops developed through genetic engineering, a more precise method of plant breeding. Genetic engineering, also referred to as biotechnology, allows plant breeders to take a desirable trait found in nature and transfer it from one plant or organism to the plant they want to improve, as well as make a change to an existing trait in a plant they are developing. Some examples of desirable traits commonly transferred include resistance to insects and disease, and tolerance to herbicides that allow farmers to better control weeds. All right. Organic meat, poultry, eggs, dairy products come from animals that are given no antibiotics or growth hormones. Organic food is produced without using most conventional pesticide fertilizers made with synthetic ingredients or sewage sludge, bioengineering, or ionizing radiation. All right, so there was a reason why I wanted to read that to you. First of all, how could farmers develop something better that's already been developed through nature? How could they improve on that? No, that's not their goal. Their goal is so that they can use more chemicals and pesticides and herbicides, and right, so that these foods, so-called foods, because they're not even foods at that point, okay, last longer on the shelves, create more disease. Do you hear me? Create more disease. They're all working together. Pharmaceutical industry, corporate America, they're all working together to make sure we stay sick. Having said that, now let's talk about food addiction. Isn't it ironic? Think about the irony of what I'm going to say right now. Isn't it ironic that 100 years ago, okay, my nonna, like I said, lived to 100. 100 years ago, 50 years ago. Okay, I'm 50, I'll be 58. Let's talk about 50 years ago because a lot of you could relate. Okay, when I was in school, there were always one or two children who did have issues. There were always a couple. And I remember the two in my school. Okay, either severe allergies or, just some issues. Okay, today, thousands. Today, I worked in Robbinsville school system. I worked in the food industry, part of it. And I'm going to tell you something. There was a table for a few kids that had issues lunchtime. No. There was tables, a whole section, allergy tables, peanut tables, issues, ADD, ADD, ADHD, right? None of that really went on back then. Like I said, yes, there were always a couple people that you knew that had some issues, but that was it. Today, there are maybe a couple of people that you know that do not have those issues. Think about that. That's because the food industry has made sure that everybody gets addicted to their food. I'm going to tell you what they put into your foods today. Let's start with sugar. Okay? Let's start with a can of Coke. One can of Coke has 9¼ teaspoons of sugar, which is not even sugar any longer. It's now high fructose corn syrup. So sugar was bad enough, white table sugar. Okay. I'm not talking about, raw honey, local honey. I'm not talking about that because I use that. Okay. Our bodies need that. What I'm talking about is processed man-made white table sugar, toxic poison. Your brain can't distinguish the difference between that and heroin and opiates when you eat sugar. Okay. So the problem is this. Now they've even made it worse because now everything is high fructose corn syrup, which is even more addicting. If you think it through, I always use, and even in part one, I think I talked about the soda because it's out there and even parents are giving it to their kids. Okay? Would you take 9 teaspoons of sugar and tell your child to eat it? I don't think so. Well, that's what you're doing when you let them drink soda. Okay? So our bodies automatically become addicted to the sugar once we start using it and eating it and drinking it. Fruit juices. Unless you're making your own or you can buy it somewhere where it's cold pressed and only the juice, it's no longer even fruit. It's mostly, again, high fructose corn syrup. So all those bottles of apple juice, and unless they're unsweetened and you read the ingredients and it's nothing but orange, nothing but apple, don't buy it. I'm telling you right now, and don't give it to your kids because you're already changing their brain cells and making them know that they have a drug in their body. The brain cell thinks you're putting drugs into the body, and that child will become addicted to sugar. Just letting you know, okay? So that's number one of the problem with addiction today, because the majority of addicts out there have all been addicted to sugar at a very early age. Yes, that's true. I'm the author of I'm Not an Addict, I'm Just an Ass. I'd rather be a smartass than a dumbass. 28 years ago, I was a dumbass. 28 years later, not only am I a smartass, I'm the author of I'm Not an Addict, I'm Just an Ass. Okay, imagine that. 28 years later, not only am I an author, I'm a radio show host on 5 networks all over the world, and I'm going to tell you what just happened. Okay, I'm incredibly proud of this. I will be inducted into the International Radio Host Hall of Fame in December. Imagine that. Imagine what I was able to accomplish 28 years later. Okay, and this has all just transpired over the last 3 years. The book, the radio shows, and now Hall of Fame. In my 50s. Imagine that. 55 years old. I'm saying that to let everybody out there know that anything is possible. It's never too late. You're never too old. I've had authors on my show in their 80s. That's right. Cool. I'm telling you that because addiction is everywhere and people start feeling helpless and hopeless. You don't have to. We can get your brain cells completely turned around and healed. 3 to 9 months, 6 to 12 months. I give you my word on that. I'm also a nutritional health coach. Reach out to me. I'd love to work with you if you have issues, addiction issues, food issues, anything. I'd love to work with you. I can help heal your brain cells. Okay? So I want to talk a little bit more about the food. All right. So I know eating organic is more expensive, but I say this to everybody out there. Everybody says, oh my gosh, eating healthy these days is too expensive. Oh, really? Well, then how come you can afford cigarettes, your alcohol, okay, all the crappy food you eat, all right? If you add all that money up, here's a challenge. In 1 month, keep a tally of everything you've spent. I don't care if it's $1 here or there, keep a tally of that too. Going into Wawa and grabbing a soda, keep a tally of that. Those monster drinks, those energy drinks that are going to kill you and give you a heart attack. Vaping. You want to quit smoking, so you're vaping, but you never stop vaping. You quit smoking a year ago, but you're still vaping. It's 10 times worse. So I'm telling you all this harshly because it's the truth and you need to hear it. Here's a challenge. For 1 month, keep a tally of everything you spend on everything unhealthy. Okay? And then get in touch with me and tell me what that tally is. Because I guarantee you I could cut that price in half if you do what I say. That's right. That's how sure I am. Okay? So I'm going to tell you guys, I have a list of clean foods, and then I have a list of dirty foods. What that means is this. The dirty foods, under no circumstance should you ever consume unless they are organic. That's how badly they are processed with chemicals and pesticides. Okay? The clean list is food that if you can't afford everything organic, these at least you could eat that are not organic, that are conventional, but not GMO. Make sure nothing you eat is GMO. Make sure there's a label on it, not non-GMO, okay? Because these are the least with the chemicals. All right, I'm going to read the bad list first for you guys. Strawberries, number 1. Never eat a strawberry unless it's organic. Spinach, number 2. I'm going in order as the severity, okay? Kale, nectarines, apples, grapes, peaches, cherries, pears, tomatoes, celery, potatoes, bell peppers, cucumbers, eggs, all leafy greens, lettuce, collards, all of them, all meats and dairy, all of it. Coffee. Conventional coffee is among the world's most chemically treated foods. How about that? I bet no one knew that. Interesting, right? Now, I'm going to read the cleaner foods. I still do my best to eat all organic when I buy foods, okay, in my home. But these, at least, if you can't afford everything organic, these are the better of the worst, right? Get it? Okay. Avocados, number 1, avocados. Sweet corn, not GMO corn. Okay, 90% or more of the corn in this country is GMO. So make sure it says non-GMO. Okay. Pineapples, frozen sweet peas, onions, papayas, eggplants, asparagus, kiwis, cabbage, cauliflower, cantaloupes, broccoli, mushrooms, honeydew, mangoes, grapefruit, oranges, bananas, and pumpkins. All melons with thick rinds, okay? Because it's very hard for the chemicals to be penetrated. Some get in it, though, from the soil, but I'm just saying, okay? Quinoa. The coating is nearly impermeable to pests, so growers don't even bother spraying it. So that's pretty cool because I love quinoa. All right? Maple syrup. It's usually forest harvested from untreated trees. FYI, all syrups are not 100% syrup. Choose pure maple syrups.